This story surprised everyone who saw it. After the inhabitants of this small city in Indonesia learned about the woman's story and what happened with her with a huge snake that lived on the outskirts of that city, they were terrified and were afraid to go out to wander near where the monster was expected to come. Fatiba is a 53-year-old woman who fell victim to a huge snake. Everyone in this village thought that such animals could not enter their village, but this incident surprised them. After the woman was late to return home from her field, her family made an announcement about her disappearance in the village. And although everyone moved in all directions in search for her, they could not find her. The next day, the villagers decided to surround the village well and not to return home until they found the missing woman. Many hours of research have passed, but they've not been able to find them. Suddenly, men found a giant 7-meter-long snake, noting that his belly was too big, and it probably wouldn't have swallowed an object. When the men saw a woman's hat thrown near the snake, one approached and carried it in his hand, making sure it was the hat of the missing woman, Fatiba. The villagers suspected that the serpent might be the charges of the poor woman, which made them decide to kill him and cut his stomach with a sharp blade, and then extract that woman from the stomach. When they opened his stomach, they were shocked by what they saw. They found that the woman who was lying in his stomach was still alive and unharmed. The woman said that the snake came out of the center of the lawn and grabbed and wrapped it around, and despite its strong resistance to him, but her grip was very strong, and was able to absorb her energy, and when its forces completely collapsed, began to swallow. The photos taken in this case spread all over the world, as well as on social media, and surprised everyone. Agung Ramos, chief of the Indonesian National Police of Mona, explained what happened with Fatiba, that the woman had gone out to visit her garden that evening, and since she'd not returned, Ramos added, "We found items belonging to the victim, such as her shoes, her machete, and her flashlight, but they could not trace her." Therefore, the family rushed to inform the police and continued to search until 9 o'clock. In the morning, when the population found the python snake and it seemed unable to move, they expected that it might have swallowed Fatiba. The people took the snake to the village and dissected the snake so they could confirm what they thought, as the victim's body was inside the snake's belly, to find that she was still alive. A snakeologist said that this kind named Acne fin. That snake was a python clamp, which can swallow its prey in record time without causing any damage, and when it enters its belly, it begins to digest quietly. He added that these snakes cannot move after they swallow their prey, where they settle somewhere until the process of digestion. The specialist also pointed out that the python snake is not a poisonous snake, but it's preparing ambushes to hunt prey, such as staying underwater and the emergence of a very small tip to lure prey. After the prey falls between its teeth, he encircles it with only his body and does not crush it, as some believed, but does use its power to break bones. When it presses on the ribs, it traps the bloodstream to the brain and causes death. After the death of the prey, the python snake opens its mouth to swallow the prey from the head first, and then rests in a warm place to digest.